Hey everybody, welcome back to Adapt Pro. I'm Katerina Oudeman, and today's episode is one I've been thinking about for a long time, partly because I created my own framework, and two, I've been curious about this for years now, since AI has kind of blossomed into this big thing that's kind of taking over the world. But yeah, we're talking about AI, but not in like a dramatic, fear-based way, not in a robots or robots are taking over, but in a way that I think will be helpful to kind of adapt, adapt to how it's showing up in the workplace, especially for young professionals, even college students, people who aren't familiar with it, and maybe it's something being integrated into your job. And it's not something where you need to learn code tomorrow, nothing like that, but just getting comfortable and staying curious with all of the new innovations and capabilities that it does have, whether you like it or not. I know there's a lot of issues and concerns surrounding AI, but we're talking how to become, AI ready, especially as a student, young professional, early career marketer. Because here's the truth about it: a lot of people are scared of AI right now. They're scared because it's going to replace jobs or it's moving too fast, which I do agree with that part. It's moving very fast. I feel like there's always something new every week, especially from the larger companies. There's always a new model, a new GBT, all of these things. So people are worried about what does that mean for creativity, or how is it going to impact the environment, or some people are just feeling overwhelmed and kind of behind because it is moving fast. There's a lot that you could learn. You don't necessarily have to learn it all, but I could see how when you're seeing all of these LinkedIn posts and these social media posts, notifications coming at you from every which way of these new AI technologies, you're just going to kind of be like, ooh, I need a breather. So I get it. But here's what I also know. In my 9 to 5, I graduated college a few months ago. I deal with AI every single day, and I don't work at an AI company. Um, and this is going to be true for a lot of jobs, especially if you are in the marketing field or business, communications, really anything. It's going to go across most fields now. Those are the ones that I have particular experience in. But in my 9 to 5, it could be anything from clients asking how they show up in AI search, marketing teams using AI to create content or enhance content, customize content, companies building AI powered products, or even tools internally that we can use to improve efficiency for our clients so that they're getting helped efficient level, or just even to help improve some of those processes that just took really long manually, back in the day a few years ago. So AI isn't hypothetical for me. It's not a trend that I read about on LinkedIn. I see a bunch of stuff on there on LinkedIn, and I used to like get swallowed up in it, while I was doing my own research and learning, with school and my research papers and all these other things. But it is part of my actual job. And so what I've realized is the professionals who are thriving aren't panicking. That doesn't necessarily mean they're super tech savvy or anything like that, but they're learning how to work with it. And again, that doesn't mean you have to be on ChatGPT all day, every day, doing any of that, but understanding AI, seeing how it can work in your workflow or even your client's workflow, super important nowadays. So if you're scared about AI, it does suck, and I can see the different views. There's some parts of it where I'm like, ugh, but I still have to interact with it at some capacity every single day. So that's just kind of the reality there. So, what I wanted to talk about today, which is kind of me practicing because I'm going to be presenting this to business students at my alma mater next week. I want to break down my AI ready marketing blueprint. I created this, I want to say I created it right before my semester ended in school. So it's a 4-part framework, and really what it's for is becoming confident, adaptable, and in demand in this age of AI. And it's pretty simple. There's 4 pillars, pretty easy breakdown. And the reason that it is kind of so simple and it's really just like an overarching framework is because AI is moving at such a fast pace that if I made it any more specific, I don't think it would be applicable in a few months, if that makes sense. So, yeah. I study business and marketing. Marketing is evolving faster than most people's skill sets. That's just the honest truth. A lot of people are skilled with people and art and all of these things, but job descriptions are changing, tools are changing, workflows. I know I've already said that 1,000 times. They're changing. So, what most students and young professionals don't have, especially when it comes to all of this new AI technology, unfortunately, is structure. They don't know where to start. They don't know what actually matters. You hear about AI all the time on social media, but when it comes to like actually using it outside of going into your Safari and just asking ChatGPT, what should I have for dinner? A lot of people don't know how to navigate that. And I think a part of that is just the fact that it is like so overwhelming. There's so much you really could do with it. So where do you start? So this is going to help build leverage instead of just consuming content about it. And instead of chasing every new tool, I have not used every AI tool. I'm just being honest. And if you're thinking, how did you write an AI framework if you haven't tested out every single tool? There's so many. There really is so many. So I've kind of dabbled here and there in different parts, different creation processes with AI, custom GPTs, all of those. I don't think I have really journeyed into like completely creating my own AI agent, really just because I don't need to. But yeah. Anyways, the 4 pillars, I'll start with pillar 1. Pillar 1 is awareness. So, pretty simple. Awareness is understanding AI's role in modern marketing or even modern business or just the modern workplace in general, especially the corporate workplace. So, this is the foundation. It's not it's not mastery, but clarity. So, you can't prepare for the future work if you don't understand what's changing, and AI is reshaping a ton of different things. So, like I had mentioned, it's reshaping content creation. How are we creating these products or these releases or these articles or enhancing this to put out to our customers to make them happy, to make the process, to make the cycle go smoothly. Second is going to be, advertising. And then it can go all the way into things like analytics. How are we collecting our data? How can AI help us with this? Personalization, customer journeys. I want to say it was my junior year of college when I had transferred over to the business school at my alma mater that I had really researched and created a customer an AI integration customer satisfaction cycle or something like that. So it's getting into customer support and how AI is starting to play into every single step that your customer faces or deals with, and how you can use that to your advantage to keep them happy instead of letting your competitors kind of take the reins on that and get away. So, what does awareness look like? A bunch of different things. So, studying real AI use cases. So if you are going to consume media, maybe look at how it actually helped the company instead of just someone's little paragraph opinion on there or something scary on there. A way you could do this to get more information would be like attending webinars or industry events. I've definitely like searched up webinars or just like AI marketing events locally to me and went to some conferences, stuff like that. And there's ways to do these for cheap or for free if you reach out to the right people. So that's a good way to do it, or getting into like looking at thought leaders and like really figuring out good sources for this information. But yeah, you want to see how companies are actually using AI. So really it's just being curious. That's this awareness part. So I want to emphasize something. You don't need to know how to build any of these AI models. Like, that's absurd. Like, there's people for that. That is their niche. Like, they're like AI, like tech engineer, like super AI nerds, like can build robots and stuff. Not me, not most of the generation or population, I mean. So really, I think it's important to just find out how it's impacting your field. Like, if you don't want to get overwhelmed and see how it's impacting like everything, see how it's impacting your field that you are passionate about. Because informed professionals are going to make strategic decisions. If you are informed, you're going to be able to apply that more confidently in the workplace, especially if you are a student. You need to be really asking questions and seeing how they're using this stuff in your internships. I saw that in my internship. Now I work there, so I kind of have an idea of how am I going to use this? What are their codes to use it ethically? And what are my clients doing? And does that align with our values as well? But yeah, that's pillar one. So awareness, that's where a lot of people stop. So again, that's reading articles, just consuming content about AI. And a lot of people will see this stuff, but then don't apply that. They'll be like, ooh, that's cool. Let me repost this, or repost it with my thoughts, put this back in the feed, but not like do anything with it besides share their opinion or be like, oh, that's kind of cool, or ooh, that's kind of scary. So you want to use it in like your projects. It could be your school projects, obviously not cheating, but maybe if you have like a 10-page paper and you have to do a PowerPoint presentation, you can throw that into AI with some notes of key points you want to hit, just so you have some good bullet points to work off of. I don't really prefer having like a bunch of bullet points, but if you're someone who likes that, or you want an idea of how the conversation could flow, that's a good way to use AI, just to like speed up that process so that you can focus on other things that are important, like practicing your speech for that presentation, making everything look clean and nice, and hitting that deadline. Streamlining your workflow, or even your personal projects like this podcast. Sometimes I have my own like custom GPT for this podcast specifically, where I'll kind of just like throw out some ideas and be like, does this align with my company's values? And I'll be like, yeah, it does. So then I'll reach out to potential guests and kind of workshop some ideas. And I don't use it to like create the whole podcast, but it can help make things go a little bit faster. Like, that's kind of the point. You don't want to lean on it too much that you're getting rid of your creativity, but you can definitely use it to speed it up a little bit, if that makes sense. But the more hands-on experience you have, the less intimidating AI is going to become. That's kind of where I'm getting at here. So it's really an abstract thing, especially in the news. It stops being abstract when you start to actually dip your hand in there and you kind of realize how it can help. I know there's people trying to boycott AI for like environmental reasons, which again, I completely, see that side, understand that side. I want to protect the environment just as much as anyone else. But like I said, the reality is I have to use it at some level, or at least interact with people who use it at work every single day. And that's kind of just where we're at right now. So, especially if you're in your business school, unless you're doing something solely in like sustainability, thinking that you're not going to run into any type of AI automation or AI processes is really just unrealistic. So that's where this framework comes in. It's not glorifying AI or making AI like this god, but just so that you can prepare yourself and start separating yourself from other people, because it is going to be a skill that you want to have under your belt if you're going into these types of workplaces where you can expect to see some level of AI integration already in the workflow of these organizations. So, that means you have to ask some questions. What do I repeat every week? Maybe it's like a certain email or a template or something like that. You can make templates. You can make custom GPTs that already have those saved and stored in there for you to make things just a whole lot faster. Where can you create consistency? You could create a prompting library or build repeatable templates, design content workflows using custom GPTs, or even just like simple automations. Like all of this could be super helpful to you if you want to dive into it. But even if you don't want to do any of this, and here's the kicker, even if you don't want to incorporate this into your workflow, you like the old way of doing your workflow, you need to understand that some of the people you're going to work with, whether that be colleagues, clients, customers, partners, they're going to be using it to some extent. So to understand how to do these solely for the knowledge of understanding their workflow, their day-to-day, and how they're optimizing things like their CRM processes is really going to be invaluable to you. Knowledge is such a gift. It's really going to be invaluable. So that's kind of where I stand with AI. Do I love all of it? No. Do I think knowing about it is super helpful, especially if you want to have that knowledge under your belt and keep your customers happy and, I don't know, not be behind like in the workplace? Yes, absolutely. So just to say this clearly, you don't need to be technical to do this. The goal of automation is leverage. So just saving time, working smarter, it does help you a lot. If you can automate some emails a little bit faster or anything like that, maybe now you have time for an extra client meeting or two instead of spending the first 2 hours write, draft, edit, write, draft, edit, write, draft, edit. And that might not be the best example, but I'm sure there's something that you can think of that you spend so much time just repeating, or even overthinking, that you can optimize with this. Or again, understanding that someone that you work with or even a client is going to be doing something similar, and you can understand their frustrations or their needs or the efficiency level that they are looking, the speed level that they are looking to get out of your partnership, or even just their workflow, and those goals are going to be a lot different from someone who is very anti-AI. I will say that the goals and the values are going to be very different. Maybe not like on the surface level different, but when it comes to efficiency and speed and even numbers when it comes to AEO or GEO, they're really going to stand apart. And that's going to be more of like a numbers thing that you'd have to talk through, but it is something that's going to stand apart. So AI isn't a one-time shift. It's ongoing. So update your knowledge, refining your workflows, staying curious, continuing to experiment, embracing all of this learning. It's going to be a lot of learning, lifelong learning. And that's kind of the point of this podcast. You're going to be learning as you go. That's how it is with AI. So be patient with yourself, learn, as you go. Because the real risk isn't AI replacing you. The real risk is just becoming rigid. Adaptable professionals remain relevant, and relevance, especially in today's age, is power. It's not replacing marketers, it's replacing marketers who refuse to adapt. And the professionals who learn to work with AI, they're going to move faster, they're going to think more strategically, they're going to deliver more value, become more efficient, and ultimately become in demand. So that's why I think this framework is especially important for kids in college or early career professionals, because it's not about getting the smartest person in the room anymore. It's about building confidence, curiosity, capability, and those really define leaders, especially future leaders. So there's a distinction there. And again, this is for students preparing for internships, young professionals building confidence, early career marketers trying to stand out, creators learning AI tools, career switchers, people entering marketing, anyone who wants to prepare for the future of work. And honestly, if you're feeling behind or overwhelmed or unsure of where to start, this framework is for you. And that's why I have it in this video as well, so you can just kind of read over it. I'll have the actual full document in the description or the comments below, so you can really read through it. This is just going to be like the picture graphic for it, but these skills are learnable. The future does not belong to people who are the most technical. Again, we don't have to build these AI systems, but understanding them, understanding how it's affecting your workplace or the field that you're going into, switching into, or even the one that you just already work in, it's going to push you so far ahead. And that's why I'm so passionate about this, is because I always want to be, if not a step ahead, at least caught up. That is how I've been able to accomplish the things that I have, is because I am a constant learner and I don't want to ever be behind. So I had to figure it out, do this research. Even if I don't know how to do certain things, being knowledgeable about what I don't understand about it sometimes saves my butt. If this episode resonated, please share it with someone or just read it for yourself. But you could share it with someone who's navigating their early career right now, or maybe making a switch into a job that uses some AI integration, or they're early in their career, they're going into marketing, business, whatever. And as always, stay curious and stay adaptable. I'll see you next time.